We're talking e-bikes and well-being on today's Ask EMBN show. Mental, isn't it?
Physical.
Spiritual. James Davis, will I lose fitness if I buy an e-bike? What? No, you will not. It's basically up to you how much effort and energy you put into any bike ride. Now, it's very well documented the physical benefits of e-mountain biking. We've actually had fitness guru Ben from the Strength Factory, and we've also done videos with Alan Millway, who is actually a World Cup downhill coach, doing videos on the channel, and we'll leave the link for those videos a bit later on.
Yeah, but then well-being comes in many different forms. You've got physical, mental and spiritual well-being. And we've had loads of emails coming in from people who say how much better they feel after an e-bike ride. E-biking, it's good stuff. And
It is good stuff. And of course, e-bikes is actually for everyone. A few months ago, I actually caught up with one of the most successful World Cup downhill racers ever, Anne-Caroline Chausson in the south of France.
Obviously, you know, we've talked about downhill for many years, but obviously today we're going to talk about e-bikes. You ride an e-bike, right?
Oh yeah, sure. E-bike is like, for me, it arrived at the right moment, like when I really need it. So it's it's kind of saved my life, something like that, because I can ride.
Well, those are two big statements there. You said because you need it and because it saves your life. I mean, can you explain that a bit more?
But because of my my disease, like my cancer, I'm not really in good shape. So I'm not in good shape, and it's really hard to go in the mountain and pedal. So like with e-bike, I can first ride, and I can keep riding with my friends. So that makes me a big difference. So mentally, it's so good to be out there.
I mean, you live in an amazing place to ride e-bikes. You know, you've got rocks, you've got a beautiful climate. I mean, you'd probably ride an e-bike anyway, right?
Oh yeah, you can go everywhere and at any time. Quick ride or long ride in the mountains, so that's good.
So give us some kind of insight. Give me some insight how you use your e-bike. How many do you go out, like once a week? Do you go out twice a week? You know, what's your timetable?
I would say, like, for the moment, I ride twice a week. So it can be quick ride after work with my friend. Yeah. So before the night arrived, like we have 2 hours to ride maximum. I can also go riding for a long time in the mountains, so I take 2 batteries and then we go long trip. Yeah. So long trip, and that's what I prefer.
Yeah. There you go. Anne-Caroline Chausson, the greatest downhill racer of all time, and her time on e-bikes. Anne, thanks so much for joining us.
Wow, some pretty thought-provoking words there from Anne-Caroline, Chris.
Yeah, an amazing rider and an amazing lady too. But let's dive straight into the ask. We've got Peter Bowen. He's asking, question for you, Steve. Why the Levo and not the Kenevo? If you had 5k to splash on an e-bike, now would you still go for the Levo over the Kenevo, and why?
Yes, I would. If I was choosing one bike, I'd actually go for the Levo. That's because on balance, the type of riding I do is weighted more towards trail riding than downhill. That's not saying I don't do a ton of downhill on the Levo, I do. And also it's not saying that the Kenevo won't do all the things that the Levo can do, but I'm also lucky enough to be able to ride a Kenevo as well if I was riding in some really challenging terrain.
Yeah.
Simple as that, really. Bug by 15200, I've been noticing that I struggle to turn left as well as I turn right in berms. Chris has got the same problem, but he can't turn left or right.
But you can go both ways, can't you, Steve?
Basic question, but should I be alternating which foot is forward on the pedals depending which side I am turning? I really want to rail some turns, but confidence is just slightly short. Your help is always appreciated. Thank you, Bug Boy.
Well, I think we all have our favourite corners. I'm right foot forward, so I tend to like rail in a left-hand berm, probably faster than I can a right-hand berm. But what comes down to which feet you are forward, which is your preferred way to turn. Technique-wise, I think sometimes people coach that you kind of lift the inside pedal up. So if you're turning to the left, you lift your left-hand pedal up. It allows the bike to turn into the corner a bit more. You can push in the pedals and get a bit more grip. But I think it depends on the type of support. If it's a bermed corner, then I think a flat pedal technique is quite good. Whereas on the flatter corners, I tend to raise the pedal and drop and lean the bike in.
So you're saying the coaches are wrong then, basically?
No, I'm saying try both ways.
You are. You basically said on camera the coaches are wrong.
No. I think you should definitely have a preferred foot forward. So you have your strong foot and your weak foot. and you tend to dictate which way you ride and which corners you favour, which way you're going to spin on a trick or something like that. You need to work out whether you're right foot forward or left foot forward, because it will affect how you ride on the trail.
Bug boy, I can see a turning conference coming up in the near future. Check out the video which the Dom did on how to get around corners faster.
First, let's start with the basics of cornering, and I think actually the physics of cornering. And it's all about trying to get your weight low and to the outside of the bike. Now, the way I do that is to drop my outside foot, but actually try and weight it as well. So don't just dangle it down there, really try and pressure that pedal. That will make a big difference to how stable your bike feels and how much grip you get. So I'm dropping my weight low, and the next thing I think about is trying to keep my weight above the bike. See, if I don't do that, if I just angle the bike over and stay in line with the bike, so if I look down now, I'm above the top tube. Try this at home, sit on your bike and do it. Actually now, my centre of gravity is over here, so it's dangling off the inside of the bike. Now that can work in things like berms, or if you've got loads of grip, but it's not a very stable position, because if I now slip, I'm going to fall to the inside. So what I'd much rather do is pick my outside elbow up, but also bring my hips to the outside of the saddle. This is much easier with your seat low. So if you've got a drop a seat post, take advantage of that when cornering. So now my weight is above the bike. If I look down now, I can see the whole side of the bike. It's much more stable, and my weight is much nearer the tyres.
Mr. Japanimaniac, how are you doing? This is a regular visitor to the EMBN show. Yeah. The question is, when will you guys be planning a drag race with e-mountain bikes alone? Just to spice up the channel a bit more. Something like a 1 kilometre straight uphill. Watching a few days ago, those pros and their e-bikes was fun, but their tricks, but their speed should be added to it. I know Steve cannot compete, but Don and Chris can do it.
So you can't compete?
Wow. Yeah, anyway, so did you see our great video? That was a drag race.
It was, wasn't it?
That was a hell of a drag race.
You weren't that close in that one, though, were you?
No, but Mr. Japanimaniac, let's do it. Let's do it for you.
A few different motors.
Let's do it for. I tell you what we'll do. We'll do it for the next Ask EMBN and see how it works out.
Yeah.
Log that, right?
Do that.
Die Forsyth.
David
Forsyth.
Hi guys, midlife crisis is at 100%, and I'm looking at Kenevo Expert or the Cannondale SE. I'll be riding the southwest of England, visiting mates in Scotland, Wales and Switzerland. The question is, what's the disadvantage of dual crown forks? Should I get single crowns and get dual crowns later?
So, David, are you saying that what you do when you hit midlife crisis is visit mates in Scotland, Wales and Switzerland?
Go to Wales, that's midlife crisis.
Dual crowns are great, right? I mean...
Great for increasing confidence. I think that cockpit with the big forks on there, you know, and the stiffness you're going to get on the front fork is really good. But downsides to me, I think, on the Kenevo Expert, I think if you're on slow, tight turns, you know, like tight single track, you sometimes do suffer with a bit of lock. You can't quite get the lock that you quite need to get around some of those tighter turns. It's not so much when you're riding. I just noticed, like, manoeuvring it around, like, just, you know, you do notice that's the limitations of the steering lock.
Maybe this is limited as well. I tell you what, dual crown forks are amazing for diving into big, dirty terrain. And I think you could possibly go for a single crown and upgrade later.
Yeah.
Mojo have just done an upgrade to the Fox 36 called the Mork. And I think that's a great way of maybe experimenting and upgrading in the future, possibly.
Yeah.
But there's absolutely nothing wrong with a dual crown fork. I don't think there's many disadvantages, apart from maybe the ones you say.
But I think it depends what you're doing. If you're hammering those downhill tech sections, then yeah, a dual crown fork would be suited. But I think a capable 160, 180 mil travel single crown fork is going to be pretty much tick the boxes for a lot of riders out there as well.
James Crumpton. I'm considering a Canyon Spectral on 7 as my first Yes! First e-mountain bike. James, great stuff. I notice you feature Canyon a lot on your videos. Is this because you actually rate the bike, or are you sponsored promoted by them? Well, answer that question is yes, we are, but we wouldn't actually run anything that we're not
confident in.
Exactly. They seem to be a good spec and price, which they are, and pretty much perfect for a beginner looking to progress but see mixed reviews. Well, they're actually perfect for loads of abilities of riders. We see them with ex-world champions riding them. And the mixed reviews, well, the thing with the mixed... I mean, we ride the Canyon Specials for many reasons. Geometry, suspension, the mixed 27, 29 wheels.
Yes, it's a good all-round bike. I think I've ridden massive stuff to cross-country rides. The Spectral literally does it all. It's a really capable bike.
Now, if you're saying the reviews are mixed, maybe that's because the abilities of the reviewers are quite different. But if you want to see what the Canyon Spectral can do, cast your eyes over this video, which I did with world famous freeride skier and also the twice world downhill champion Fabio Umbrell out in Italy. There was no time for a warm-up, and soon we were chasing down high-speed single track, led out by one of the fastest people ever to have ridden a mountain bike downhill. Charging hard on trails we had never seen before, we rolled out of the woods and onto Alta Via, unveiling an incredible landscape, but at the same time exposing us to some perilous cliff faces. Ben Curley!
Ben saying, I've recently switched over to paraffin wax as a drive chain. Instead of oil-based chain lubes, wax/paraffin is an excellent
No, it
lubricant.
doesn't say slash, it's in brackets.
Wax paraffin is an excellent lubricant and attracts less dust. What are your thoughts on using paraffin wax as a drivetrain lube? Now, Steve, you know your lubes, right?
Well, yeah, we were already talking about the benefits of silicone lube a while ago, but paraffin waxing. I spoke to the guys at GCN, and they say it's a cool thing to do. Now, I used to do it with my motorbike in the past.
Yeah, I remember boiling it up.
Boiling it up, but that was quite thick, chunky stuff. So the guys at GCN say you're going to actually add an additive to it. So obviously, is that to send it out or something
Must
like
be,
that?
yeah, it takes some of the lube.
But Ben, if you say that it attracts less dust, I mean, that can only be good.
Sounds pretty good, right?
I think we should experiment with this, and that's not something I've done on an e-mountainbike. But guys, let us know what you think. Have you been using wax paraffin?
Yeah. Do you do much waxing?
We want to know.
Yeah.
He does a lot of waxing. What's the matter with that? What's wrong with that? What's wrong with saying that? Now, Dukesy TV, this is in relation to the Kenevo versus Levo video which we did. He says that I really like both bikes. I have a DH bike at the moment, but don't really do massive jumps. Would the Levo still be able to handle small to medium jumps? I really like the idea of a more playful bike. I normally ride Surrey Hills and Danbury. Would really appreciate your advice. Well, in short, yes, it will be able to handle small and medium jumps, Dukesy. Travis N, any chance you guys...
Whoa, I think we need to talk more about the Levo Kenevo question.
We are, I just answered it. Yes. Can it handle small to medium jumps? Yes, it can.
Yeah, the Levo can, but I think if you want to step it up to the next level, then the Kenevo...
Well, he's not asking that. Is this a thesis on how to jump a Levo and Kenevo now?
The new Kenevo is super capable, even for cross-country stuff. You know, the seat angle's been changed and things like that, so it is capable as a cross-country bike as well, I think. But if you want to step it up to the next level, the Kenevo is the one. But as for small or medium-sized jumps, the Levo is pretty capable, especially if you're riding more like cross-country, traily kind of riding. Anyway.
Have you finished?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Travis N. Travis N wants to know whether we can do a comparison video between a aftermarket Bafang mid-drive motor and an off-the-shelf e-mountain bike. Well, yes, we have actually done that. Now, what we found was the Bafang kit is really quiet. It's really powerful. It's got some great display stats on there.
Good price.
A very good price. We saw one recently, Chris, didn't we? They start from a company called Dillinger UK for about £771.
Including the battery, wasn't it?
Yeah, on offer at the minute. Great value. But we bumped into a couple of guys who'd actually done this themselves. They bolted on the Bafang kit onto a, was it Da Vinci, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was, full suspension, yeah.
And as much as they loved it, there was definitely, they could see the benefits of getting an off-the-shelf e-mountain bike for several reasons. The first one was because of the electrics involved. You've got to be quite adept at putting it all together. And the second thing was the fact that the bottom bracket area, those aftermarket mid-drive kits, they drop down a little bit. So they're quite susceptible to roots and rocks and stuff like that.
Like log crossings, falling down logs, you could hit them off. And
So Travis, depends on the type of riding you've been doing, but these are our findings when we caught up with two guys who've actually done that. It looks to me like you bought a brand new Summit there, correct?
I did, yes, that's right. Yeah.
How much was that?
It was 2.2 in the sale.
Wow, right.
1,200.
And you bought the Bafang BBS 02 motor, which was?
That was £440.
440 plus the batteries.
Batteries about £80 each.
Right, so we're looking at like
160.
600 quid?
Yes.
Plus less than £3,000 then
Yes.
for a bike. Let's talk through it's a 750 watt motor on that, right?
That's right, yeah.
And I think it's 120 newton meters of torque.
Yep.
But as you mentioned, it's a very light system, right?
It is very light, yeah.
Yeah.
Depending what size batteries you put on it as well.
Yeah.
You can change the size of the batteries you want
Yeah.
for what ride you're doing.
So it is actually quite flexible.
Very flexible.
Chris, wrap it up for January.
Okay, last question for this month's Ask is from Larry Conger. He's saying 504 watts is plenty for me, but my question is, will Specialized continue to support their older products? I still love the 2018 Specialized e-mountain bikes. Please let me know how they plan on doing this, and are they going to upgrade the motor housing to magnesium on the older models?
Well, Specialized is a big company, it's a reputable company, and I think in terms of warranty, not just on e-mountain bikes, but on mountain bikes, on road bikes, BMX, city bikes, you know, they have a reputation to withhold. And I think they're pretty well known for doing that, actually, in the past. So, I don't know, but more than that, Larry, I think you need to be looking at what's your relationship with your bike shop and stuff like that, so they can support you in the communication between you and not just Specialized, but any brand.
Yep. But that's it for this month's Ask. Don't forget, if you want to get involved in February's Ask, drop your comments and your questions down in the comment box below, and we shall hopefully get back to you on next month's show.
Yeah, in the meantime, check out Chris's exploits against world cross-country champion Pauline Ferrand-Prévot, just down here.
With a flat battery, I might add. Give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and don't forget to smash the globe in the middle of me and Steve to subscribe to
Well, don't
EMBN.
smash it, just hit it.
We'll see you next month.